आप लोग को ले गए। चलिए ईमानी वीडियो ऑन कर लीजिए। ठीक है। हाँ जी ईमानी। हाँ जी, का पढ़ाई हो गया ना? ठीक है, आपने नोट्स एक बार भेजिएगा ना ग्रुप में, जो जो पढ़ लिया आप लोग ने। नोट्स बनाए हैं ग्रुप में भेजिए, जो जो बनाए हैं ग्रुप में भेज दीजिए, जो
सर वो
नोट्स
जो
बनाए हैं।
स्टार्ट ऑडिट का भेजा था आपने वीडियो देखने के लिए, वो भेजा
हाँ
था मैंने
हाँ,
आपको।
एक बार के लिए ग्रुप में भेजिए वो।
हाँ भेजती हूँ।
जीएस आर्टिकल से वाला भेजिए। ठीक है, आप लोग सब अपना नोट्स भेजिए ग्रुप में, उससे कुछ लेकर।
भेज दिया सर।
हाँ, एक सेकेंड। एक सेकेंड, आप लोग भी भेज दीजिए जल्दी। हम्म। गौरव गुप्ता, निहार, क्या क्या बनाया ग्रुप में भेजिए। ठीक है।
ओके।
चलिए, important questions for state audit. Okay. What is the inherent limitation of audit? Himani.
So, nature of audit procedures, nature of financial reporting, and limitation with respect to time and cost.
Hmm.
And there are certain other limitations such as related party transactions,
Mm-hmm.
going concern assumption,
Hmm.
and whether the FRF applicable to the entity is being followed or not.
Hmm. Hmm.
So, मतलब यही है लिमिटेशन तो ऑडिट का।
आप लोग बताइए limitations of audit.
सर एक लिमिटेशन सर, another limitations of audit is that sir we can never give an absolute assurance. We can only provide reasonable assurance on the financial statements, and audit and investigation is totally a different thing. So when we do an audit, it is important for us that we are not investigators. Second, that every time we cannot detect the fraud. So fraud is like something, a person who has done an alleged fraud, so it is very much difficult for us to detect on that time.
Mm-hmm. ठीक है।
So like this.
Okay. What does inventory includes?
सर मैं बोलूँ?
Mm-hmm.
Sir, inventory includes goods purchased which are used for further resale. Inventory includes all the all the goods which has been produced by the company for resale purpose. It also includes raw material which has been used in the production which is being used in the production activity, as well as loose tools which are being used in production activity.
What is the how you value in inventory as per the AS?
So as per AS2, inventory valuation, inventory is valued either lower of cost or NRV. In case of finished goods, it is valued at lower of cost or NRV. In case of work in progress, it is calculated at the same, that is lower of cost or NRV. But in this case, the calculation of NRV is such that we take the final sale value of the finished goods, and then we deduct the cost of further completion and the cost of selling expenses. Then we get the NRV calculation. And in case of raw material, if the finished goods are valued at NRV, which is more than the cost, then in such case it will value at cost. And if the NRV is less than the cost, then in such case the raw material will be valued at replacement cost.
How will you recognize revenue as per the relevant in AS?
Sir, revenue means gross inflow of the cash in the ordinary course of the business. Revenue includes cash inflow from services or products sold in the open market, as well as it includes dividend and royalty. There are following criteria for the revenue to be recognized. The first one being whether the right and the obligation related to the goods or services has been transferred to the buyer, whether the goods has been sold for consideration, and there is reasonable certainty regarding the recovery of the consideration.
Good. What is your opinion on the Ukraine-Russia war? How is it impacting the Indian economy? Anybody?
Sir, Ukraine-Russia war is impacting the Indian economy in the terms of import and export, and as well the ruble prices have the currency exchange of ruble prices has gone very high because of the war. So we are not being able to import many things. But on the other hand, we had a good deal with Russia on oil, on natural oil, which has been imported in India, as Russia has a good relation with India.
Right.
So another point I want to add.
Right. Continue.
So in terms of like, so Russia has also, like, as in case of Russia-Ukraine war, so Russia has actually banned many countries that it will not fly over its territory, but it has relieved India. Means for India, this thing is not banned, so India is benefited. And also because of that, Russia and Ukraine, that they export many things to Bangladesh, but as because of Russia and Ukraine war, India is now getting a chance to get export in Bangladesh, so it has taken advantage. Also in terms of tech giants, like Ukraine is one of the countries where many countries they hire for technician experts, but because of this Russia Ukraine war, so India has benefited from that, and many tech experts have getting jobs in Russia Ukraine, like
Okay,
that.
Shivani, why you want to join the Big Four?
So joining Big Four would provide me ample of opportunities, as well as it helps me to grow professionally as well as personally. Moreover, it would be a good start for my career to start my articleship with Big Fours.
Why not a mid-size firm?
Sir, in mid-size firm, I'll get an overall exposure, but as per my interest, I want a specialization in a field. So I want Big Four, and it will
What field
also,
you need a
moreover, it will
specialization?
start audit.
Why?
So start audit is basically an interesting area for me, as I think that as I'm interested in understanding business from in numbers basically, and I want to learn the various technical aspects of audit too.
What is the difference between stat audit and internal audit?
So start audit is being carried out to express an opinion on the financial statements, whereas internal audit is being carried out to check whether the internal controls in the organization are working properly or not.
What are the different
And
types
the
of
process,
opinion? What are the different types of audit opinion?
sir, as per standards on auditing 700, there are 4 different types of opinion: unmodified opinion, modified opinion, adverse opinion, and disclaimer of opinion.
Like, you know. Okay. Nihar, why you want to join tax? In case you get an office, why you want to join taxation?
Okay. So since I joined my CA intermediate, I have gained excessive interest in tax. The way I have always a curiosity to know that how we calculate a tax and how from this tax, by knowing this knowledge of tax, how we can save the taxes. And I have always also the curiosity to know that how there are different ways, as I've learned there are different ways to compute the taxation. So this always very much interests me, and I'm also very much curious to know about that if a person is staying in like and is earning in many countries, so how the taxability will arise. So because of this thing, I have gained an excessive interest in this field, so I definitely want to join this in the field of tax.
Right. Mhm. How many months of study leave do you require for CA finals? Gaurav Gupta.
Sir, as per the CA guidelines, I will require 5 months of study leave. But if the articleship demands me to work more, it will be okay if 3 to 4 months of leave has been granted to me. As I'm a disciplined guy, so I will start my CA final studies from the beginning of the year. So it will not hamper me at the end of the year that I'm left with many portion to cover.
If the firm is giving you only 2 months to study, what will you do? Because of the work pressure.
Sir, as I have stated, I am a disciplined guy and I start preparation from the start of the beginning of the year. I will be able to cover my portion, and my priority being the articleship, I will put all my efforts in the articleship and will take the 2 months leave sportingly and will prepare in it. I have no objections regarding it, as my priority being is articleship.
Like our firm, there is a lot of traveling. Okay. So how will you cope with that? Your tuitions will be missed. Okay. You not get that much of tuition leave. So how will you cope with that?
So my tuitions are basically on weekends, and they also provide online backup for it. So it will not be a
Even in
problem for
weekends, you might
me.
have to travel. Even in weekends, you need to work sometimes.
Yes, sir. As my circadian rhythm is like that, I wake up 4 a.m. in the morning, so I will be able to watch the online lectures at that time and come to office. So that will be not a great problem.
But if in case you miss the interview, in case you miss the videos also, what will you do?
Sir, I have so the classes provide a backup for 3 years, so I will be able to view it anytime.
Which classes are that? It's back up for 3 years.
JK Shah classes.
Okay, great. Good. Another question is like, how will you deal with the work pressure in Article C? Because people will not teach you, don't have time to spoon feed you with everything. How will you deal with that? You're given a responsibility to complete something. They will tell you only one time. If you don't understand that time, and there is a deadline to complete that work also, how will you deal with that work pressure?
So first of all, I will ask my senior to help me in a particular work if I have not understood it. If he is busy, I will jot down all the points which are doubtful for me, and will ask his free time in where I can cover all my issues regarding the doubt. And secondly, I will ask my peers who are working in a different firm to how to solve this particular problem, or will go on Google and refer to a particular case study which has been allotted to me.
Good. Um, let's suppose a situation, okay? You are given any
Yes, sir.
topic and you're not understanding anything on that, okay? And the seniors are also very busy. Boss has given you a very urgent work to complete within the deadline, and you're not understanding anything. What will you do?
Sir, I will reach out to a person who has done that particular work in the previous year and will try to take his bit of time and ask him all the doubts and clarity and clear my
That
concepts.
person is not available. He has resigned from the firm. Maybe he's not available.
So then further, I will go to YouTube and find a particular case study regarding that topic and reach out Google where I can find the basic concepts of that particular task and would complete it. Or would ask my peers who are working in different firms in the same field so that they can help me.
Apart from studies, what is your hobby?
Sir, apart from studies, I do cycling as it keeps me fit as well as it makes me focus in my work.
Nihar, like if you're given any responsibility to complete within that line, okay, and you are 3 hours late, what will you tell to your boss? And boss is very angry also. How will you cope up with that pressure now?
So first of all, definitely that situation would be a very difficult situation for me. But I will try to convince my boss that as though I have come late, but I will definitely assure you one thing that I will do take more hours and I will work complete your task on time. So this is how will I. I will definitely first of all request tell to sir to forgive me for that for being late, and definitely whatever task you will give me I will do it. I will take extra hours, but I will work and then I will leave the office.
What is the TDS rate under section 194C and also the exemption limit?
Okay, sir. So section number 194C is applicable for payment whenever we make any payment to contractors, and the limit is like if any time we have made a payment of 30,000 in one instance, and in if we considered in aggregate in during a year, that goes to 1 lakh. So whichever from both is applicable, the TDS is applicable, and the TDS rate is 1% in case of individuals and HUF, and other than individuals and HUF, it is 2%.
Audit of cash and bank balances, Bhimani. How will you audit the cash and bank balances? Procedures that you will apply.
So for auditing cash and bank balances, we can send the external confirmation request to the bank regarding confirmation of the balance. And we can also check whether there is segregation of duties regarding the cash. And so we can also check whether all the payments are being authorized properly or not. And we can also check or examine the bank reconciliation statement or recalculate the bank reconciliation statement.
How will you send the external confirmation?
Sir, there are two type of confirmation request. One is positive and the second one is negative. It depends on the situation whether to send a positive confirmation request or a negative confirmation request. As per the circumstances, we'll first design the confirmation request to the confirming party, and we'll also examine whether the confirming party is being objective and has the knowledge about the matter. And moreover, he is also interested in providing the above information. And in case if he didn't reply, then we can also follow back the confirming party about the same.
AS16 borrowing cost. What do you know about this standard borrowing cost?
So borrowing cost.
I asked you earlier also this question. I remember. Very
Yes,
important
sir.
standard. Borrowing
So-
cost is very important.
So for qualifying asset,
When it falls under qualifying asset. Anybody? Both of them?
Yes,
Borrowing
sir.
cost. Mhm.
So borrowing cost is like applicable like under A16. It is says that when we can charge this interest rate on any assets. Like where there are two options that we have to some procedures to, or like when we have to capitalize such interest amount. So for that we have to check two things. One is qualifying assets and another is non-qualifying assets. So assets qualifies, we will say any asset as qualifying assets only when the assets is like construction is going on the assets. So till the time the asset is not constructed, we will charge whatever interest we have incur on it. We will capitalize that expenditure. But after the asset is completed construction, so that interest amount will be charged to P&L account, and that will be termed as non-qualifying assets.
Once you'll check this answer. Okay. What is a qualifying asset? What is a non-qualifying asset? Okay. What is
Sir,
deferred
मैं
tax
same
asset?
बोलूं?
नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन ले लेते 7 मिनट्स ये डेफर्ड टैक्स ये लिख लीजिए ये सब क्वेश्चन इंपॉर्टेंट डेफर्ड टैक्स एसेट क्या होता है व्हाट इज डेफर्ड टैक्स एसेट
So the concept of deferred tax asset arises when the profit as per the books of the accounts and the profit as per the taxation is different. So if the profit as per the books of the accounts is more than the profit as per taxation, then the concept of deferred tax liability arises. And when the profit as per the books of the accounts is less
Example?
as compared to the profit,
एग्जांपल
the example for deferred tax liability will be the change in method of depreciation. For example, there will be a different method of depreciation being followed in the books of the accounts, and a different method is being stated in the income tax act, and the rate of depreciation could differ. And secondly, a particular expense which has been allowed in books of the account, but which has not been allowed in taxation. And a specific example could be the section 35 AD, where a specific business has been started, so a full depreciation has been allowed in the first year. And further, deferred tax liability and asset should be recognized only if there is a particular, if there is significant taxable income to be generated in the future year.
let's suppose you are getting very less stipend than the market rate. How will you react to that?
Sir,
Gaurav Gupta.
Sir, from the point of view of articleship, my aim is to learn many things regarding the articleship and not to focus on the stipend. Sir, a stipend that will cover my conveyance expenses, that would be enough for me. So I will be very happy if it covers my conveyance expenses rather than doing more of it.
Very good. I hope these questions were very helpful. You will remember this, you will revise all these questions, okay? And make sure that whenever you connect with each other also, and whoever is like Rimani has got into RSM, so whoever is getting placed, help the other guys also to get placed. So that is the most important thing. I hope this session was useful. And I get very little time, but I will try to take sessions every week. And you can tell your friends also, okay? And any doubt you have, you can always connect with me in WhatsApp. I am little late in replying, but I definitely try. I don't get time only. After this also another session after this. So that's why the difficulty is there. This is the pressure time for me also. We're trying to keep it every day, all the sessions, and whatever you feel that you remember Rimani name, Nihar name, but study very, very hard and apply as many as possible everywhere. So you can very easily crack the interviews and all. Okay. Okay, it was great session. Please put the feedback in the group. And any doubts you have, you can always connect with me. If I am not available, you connect with each other and you can solve each other doubts as well. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.